Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to another edition Star Citizen 3.11.1 live, coming at you straight from Microtech. I've got something special for you. We are going to test to see exactly what the Consolidated Outland Nomad can hold in the back. A lot of people are very curious to see exactly what will fit right there in the little pickup truck like bed of the Nomad, and today we are going to check it out. Now, one thing to get in, you're going to want to look for the side that has this little brown thing to the left of it. That is how you're going to enter the ship. It seems a lot of people are very impressed with the Nomad. Very few issues are coming up about it for a brand new release. One of which being that the ship is a little bit of a hydrogen fuel hog. It seems to burn through the hydrogen relatively quickly. Not exactly a huge issue, as that is something that can be remedied, especially in future patches. But one of the biggest issues that this ship has, it seems to have the bug where if you power off the engines, it loses collision. Now, I, for one, always power off my engines when I am sitting still, so that is what you are looking at right here. So, pro tip, if you're taking out the Nomad on its inaugural run, do not power down the engines. Small thing, but for somebody who it's like second nature that you touch down and power off the engines, it does take a little bit of retraining. Now, the question almost everybody is wondering, will the Nomad fit a Grey Cat rock? Well, yes, sort of. The Grey Cat rock will fit in the rear of the Nomad, barring some weird animation issues. The problem is when you go to retract it, the truck bed that is. Now, at first, everything seems to go just fine. I went and did a flight test, as you can see here, because I was a little apprehensive about it being an open bed, like a pickup truck, but without the little door to hold it in there. But during the flight, which was 4 times faster, it held. The problem came when we tried to take it out of the bed. It seems a lot of ships with elevators have this sort of issue where vehicles don't stay planted. The Rock definitely has this issue, has a little bit of a mind of its own, and starts to do a barrel roll, which I did not even want it to do. Once it does that, it seems as though functionality ceases. So the next thing I wanted to try was the Cyclone. Another big contender for vehicles to load into the Nomad, given its size, would be the Cyclone. Now, backing into the Nomad seems to work. Again, minus some little issues here and there. Now, just like the Rock, on retracting the cargo bed, it seems to do a little juke and jive, and it doesn't really inspire all the confidence that one would want loading a vehicle in. And again, bringing it back down, the Cyclone seems to have a little bit of issues. Now, unlike the Rock, however, even in its slightly issued state, usually you can get back into it. Now, I try to bring it back up and pull it back down, which, again, because it does have this movement, it seems like you might have some success in reorienting it to a point where you can jump back in and at least then drive it out the back. Where the fuckery really ensues is trying to drive the Cyclone in forward facing. As you can see, the front bumper was giving me some issues, so I thought, alright, let's accelerate up, and nope, I was ejected out of there faster than you could say, oh, holy shit. So here we go for attempt number 2. Had to call up a brand new Cyclone. And again, going to drive up the ramp, hitting some issues, give it a little bit of speed, and no. Again, it just bounces off. Well, not having a good time. If you're going to try to get a Cyclone on there, pro tip, always back it in, and back it in slowly. So here's my third attempt, where again I decide, alright, let's just try backing it in, and let's see if we can get some ground vehicle transportation going. Now I am using a Cyclone turret, the TR version, because I thought that was a slightly taller one, and I wanted to see if the slightly taller version would be applicable. Once again, as we go to load the cargo bay up, the Cyclone does not stay static. It starts to bounce around and juke and jive and all that not so good stuff, actually. Once I got it to a point where it was at least staying in the truck bed is when I decided to continue the test. Now again, admittedly, it doesn't look like it's in there very well, but surprisingly, doing some maneuvering, it actually didn't move from there. Now I don't know if it was just stuck or if the physics finally kicked in, but it did in fact stay in the bed. Again, seemed to have a little bit of issues on lowering the truck bed. Made me pretty damn nervous, actually. It was almost 90 degrees, but once again, if you're able to reach the pilot seat, or the driver's seat in this case, and you take your time, you will have success. So the Cyclone seems like a way more viable option, and here's my little victory donuts that I did. So the Cyclone, turret, TR, whatever, is a viable option for the Nomad. Coming up next, the Ursa Rover. Now, for some people, it might be obvious, but the Ursa Rover, not such a good option. The wheelbase alone is just way too big, to the point where they don't even make it onto the ramp. Trying it in reverse, same issue. Now you can get some of the wheels on there, but the other axles will not be congruent, and as such, as Mr. Mackey said, you're gonna have a bad time, okay? So up next, we're going to do the Grey Cat PTV, the Grey Cat Buggy. And to no one's surprise, fits right in, plenty of room, and because of that, it actually had almost zero issues. Very similarly though, when the truck bed, or I'm sorry, the Nomad bed was being retracted, there was a little bit of physics fuckery, but not to the point where it was any real cause for concern, even with that harsh landing. Now, again, as you can see with the truck bed coming down, it was a little bit floaty, but for all intents and purposes, it was okay. Moving right along, the Dragonfly. Now this one, I was actually pretty sure it would be able to fit. However, I would be mistaken. Even though it appears as though it fits in, it is a little bit long, and the biggest issue of all is the physics of it. Again, retracting the cargo bed just has a myriad of issues. Dragonfly will get stuck. Again, trying to reach the pilot seat when it's up there is very difficult. It took me quite a few times, as you can see. Once I was finally able to reach it though, I was able to pull it out, but I was having a really rough time keeping it on there. So I decided to have a big brain idea and kill the engines and attempt to stow the Dragonfly. Much like every vehicle so far, it was bouncing around, juking and jiving, having a merry old time, but it stayed in the bed even with the engines off, doing some maneuvering. So the Dragonfly, it kind of your usage may vary. If you get it in there the correct way, it seems like the best idea is engines off, but retrieving the vehicle, well, as you can see, it is a little bit dangerous. The Nox was also very similar, although it was smaller. Did have some issues. The video got corrupted, and I don't have the patience to go back and do it again. So I'm going to leave the video here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope all you beautiful bastards out there have yourselves a wonderful day, morning, evening, whenever, wherever you just so happen to be. This is Will, Daylight Gamer, signing out. Love, peace, chicken grease.